Hello, I'm micksmowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be working on a little tiny Mantis tiller, two-stroker that someone bought in for me to look at. Now, he did say all it needs is some new fuel lines. I'm not sure if the machine ran beforehand or how long ago it did actually run. I did some repairs on some machines of his just the other day, and he's now starting to bring some more machines to me to fix. So I'm not sure whether he's buying to sell or whether these are his own equipment, but he is a bit of a gardener and has an allotment from what I'm led to believe. So this could be his own bit of kit. So we get this little Mantis on the top, put some new fuel lines on it, fill up with juice, and so you can't get it to run. But I'm guessing the fuel lines have absolutely had it. That's why the reason it's come to me in the first place. If this is your first time watching micksmowers and Mower Man, hit the subscribe button, whack the bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and check out this Mantis two-stroke tiller that needs some new fuel lines. Okay, it's up on the bench, little tiny little tiller thing, little tiny Mantis two-stroke. Quick blow off, get rid of some dust. And it should be, what I'm led to believe, quite a quick little fix if it all run beforehand. But there's nothing saying it actually did run beforehand. The machine itself, apart from just the dust that's collected, actually looks to be in quite good condition. Little air filter there. There's a bit of oil come out of carby. Primer bulb seems to be in good condition at the moment as well too, which is good. So it should be literally just a question of undoing a fuel cap and seeing what's inside. And I can see a return, and I can actually see what looks to be a line complete there. So I'm not really quite sure why it actually needs a new set of fuel lines in the first place. Got a little breather pipe there as well. So there's a bit of leakage coming off of the bottom of this bottom fuel line. So that's one I dare say needs replacing. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. So it shouldn't be too much of a taxing job. Just standard fuel line fixes. Now what I do, I buy my fuel lines in relative bulk. You can buy 100 metres at a time, but I don't buy it that. I just buy mine on Amazon, and I keep them in a little tiny box like so, just with relevant fuel lines, which is the standard fuel line that we get. And all we're going to be doing, literally, is just going to be replacing fuel lines like for like. So we'll take this air breather one out first, that can come out. And then all of them want to do is just double check where these fuel lines are going. So the feed in is the bottom one. Let me get a pair of long nose pliers. The feed in is on the bottom of a carburetor. Just going to whip that off, and we're going to pull that through all the way. So that's that one. Just want to check condition of it. It's a bit restricted just here, but it seems to be in relatively good condition, to be fair. I don't know. And then the return comes off the back of a carby, and then it's slightly thicker pipe, and that's just a very small bit just like that. So all we're going to be doing is getting a piece of fuel pipe that fits. So what we want to do is just get a piece of fuel line, marry up roughly what you got. That's quite a big inside diameter, that is, to be fair. So just looking through some of my fuel lines, what I have actually got here. That could be the cookie. That could be him. All I'm then going to do is get my snips, and I'm just going to cut just over the length of what we've got here. Just over. And then cut a little tiny V in one end, just like so. And then this one here can go onto the back of a carby, which is your return. It's a bit fiddly, but it will go on if you're careful. Once you get it started, it'll then just go on all by itself pretty much. Make sure it's on all the way, and make sure you don't damage the fuel line when you're putting it on. Once that one's in place, we're going to get hold of the other end of his fuel line, and then just sneak it through. There's 3 holes to choose from. Sneak it through all the way, and what you're looking for is no kinks. Okay, so there's the first fuel line now already fitted. That took minutes to do that. Okay, literally just minutes. So there's the first fuel line gone in. That's your return, and your main feed is on the bottom just here on this one here, and that's going to come down, round and into the tank. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. We can do that one next. So all we're looking to do is to get our fuel line. We're going to check for diameter again. It's quite a big diameter again, that is. Okay, apparently as per Mantis's website, it says that it takes 50 to 1 fuel mix in here. That's no problem, we can do that. And I'll quickly show you how to mix 50 to 1 fuel mix as well. It takes minutes if you know how to do it properly. Okay, minutes. And lots of people get confused about mixing 2-stroke fuel, but I, for one, most certainly do not. So I mix up roughly 500 ml of 2-strokes at any one time, enough to test the machine and to give the customer the right amount of fuel going to his new machine. So I'm going to pour into here 500 ml of 2-stroke, of just plain fuel. It's going to be about there. Let me just double check that, get my head down level. Yep, bang on 500 ml. 500 ml of that, and then I'll get myself some 2-stroke oil. Okay, so to mix 50 to 1 at 500 ml, all I do, literally very, very simple, go onto my phone, go onto my gas oil mix app. I punch in 50 to 1 there at 0.5 of a litre. I need 10 ml of oil. If you're making 40 to 1, if you're making 40 to 1 at 0.5 of a litre, you'd want 12.5. So that's how easy it is. But I need 50 to 1 at 0.5 of a litre. That's 10 ml of oil. I use still oil. Make sure that was right, because yeah, that's right, yeah. 10 ml. So I've got some still oil here, which my mate Pete bought me. I pour a little bit into there. That's all I do. I can always suction it back up later on. And then, you know, the little tiny medicine straws you get for your kids, you know, for your Calpol or your Nurofen, I use that. There's 5 ml. That's gone in. Just suck that up. Just make sure you get it all out. There's a bit more in there, you see. That's it. Another 5 ml. Boom. Right, and now you've got 50 to 1 fuel mix, mixed up like a pro. No disputing it. Takes 2 minutes to do that, literally 2 minutes. So let me pour this 50 to 1 mixture into here. I'll meet you outside. I'm going to try and fire this little puppy up, see if it does or does not start. I've absolutely no idea. It may be coming back in for a carburetor clean yet. I don't know, but we shall see. Meet you outside. Okay, little Mantis. What we got going on here then? Oh, we got a little tiny lever. That must be for your blades. We've got on-off switch there up the top here. So turn that to on. And I want to prime it. It says we're priming. I'll put plenty through. Make sure we've got no leaks. Seems there's quite a bit of air in there, to be fair. I think we're getting there now. Now we're getting there. Alright, there you go. So turn that on. Bit of choke. That must be out for choke. Automatic throttle maybe. We see what happens when we give it a couple of pulls. Cool, my word. We're at 5, first pull. But a bit of a swine to pull. Let's give it some beans. You can't really. Can you tip it up like that and do it? That might be, but no, you can't. You can't really tip it up. What a thing. think it wants a little bit of a tune-up. Can we tune that? Let's have a little look. Yeah, we can tune that. Then we'll grab a screwdriver and we'll try and tune that. Right, I bought a stool out because I don't like the idea of pulling it and it blades all spinning or whatever, so I'm going to just rest it like that for now, okay? Because that don't seem right to me. So I'm just going to tune this. Let me show you. You've got little tiny adjusters on here, okay? These little Mantises. And all we're going to do is you've got high and low here. That's your low, that's your high. High is normally always away from the engine. We're going to just try and tune this this one here by turning it in and out ever so slightly with a flathead screwdriver, just to try and improve the running of it. See how we get on. So just a second. Tuning can be a bit finicky, but we'll see how we get on. Let's get it running. Turn it on. Give it a pull at the same time as trying to sit on it and try and... That was easy enough. I'm going to give that a little tiny tweak. Done. Okay, Mantis tiller now all up and running, doing exactly as it should do, and the bloke was right. A new set of fuel lines was all that's needed to get this machine up to run. Whether the old fuel lines had a little tiny hairline fracture or a pinhole in them, I don't know. The machine might have been sucking in air. I have no idea. He said, just a new set of fuel lines, please, Mick, and I'll be happy as Larry with that. So that's what I did. New set of fuel lines and a quick little tweak on the high jet only, just a little tiny tether on that high jet, and that machine now runs absolutely beautiful and does exactly what it should do. It tills all the ground up as it should do. So the bloke should be super, super happy with that. If you like a sort of video of how to change the fuel lines on a little Mantis tiller or any other two-stroke machine for that matter, then watch this video, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all, that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. I look forward to the next episode of Micksmowers very, very soon, but until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.